We begin the second week by talking about the order of operations. The order of operations is one of the concepts that students most typically take for granted. Most students will say, oh, I know the order of operations, PEMDAS, but most of them don't understand how PEMDAS helps them as it relates to mathematics. So the order of operations, also known as PEMDAS, is the universal method for simplifying expressions. As we can see here in our conversation about the order of operations, we talk about the key word associated with each, we define each, we try to talk about the symbols associated with each, and some examples for the more complicated operations. We begin our conversation about the order of operations by talking about the two most difficult operations to see, addition and subtraction, but the easiest for the students to perform. For addition, we see that the key word is the sum, and as defined, addition tells you to move to the right on the number line and indicates the distance away from 0. Subtraction, on the other hand, has a keyword of the difference, and it tells you to move to the left. And it is important for us to make a distinction between a subtraction sign and a negative sign. So we say the negative sign tells you to change directions, and the result will indicate the distance between the two values. Here on the boards we have an example to help illustrate this. For addition, we see that 3 plus 2, the sum, is 5. And we do get this by moving to the right, 1, 2, 3 for 3, and 1, 2 for 2, and nothing tells us to change direction, so the result is 5. Up here, we have a problem that students struggle with, and that is 3 minus being the operation, negative 2, that negative sign telling us to change directions, and that's equal to 5 as well. So here we can see that 3 will tell me to move to the right 1, 2, 3 spaces. The minus sign tells me to move to the left. So here, I would start moving to the left, except for I have a negative sign that tells me to change directions from the left and go back to the right. So I go 1, 2, 3 to the right. I'm like, should I go left? No, I have to go right. And I continue right through 2 spaces to get 5. The next 2 operations we discuss are multiplication and division. Like addition and subtraction, multiplication and division occur from left to right. That means you perform them from left to right. The key word associated with multiplication is the product, and the students understand multiplication as adding groups. Here is some technical vocabulary associated with multiplication, like the multiplicand and the multiplier, but we see that 3 times 2 tells me to take 3 and add it to itself twice, or I could actually take 2 and add it to itself 3 times. And we see for 5 times 4 that we can take 5 and add it to itself 4 times, but I can also take 4 and add it to itself 5 times. The key word associated with division is the quotient. The students understand division as breaking some quantity up into parts, but here we have some more technical vocabulary which tells us that division has me break the divisor into as many groups as the indicated dividend. Here we have division represented in a couple different ways. The typical division problem looks like this: 15 divided by 3, where the dividend is 15 and the divisor is 3. Here we have 15 divided by 3 again, where the dividend is still 15 and the divisor is 3. And here we have a fraction with 15 on the top as the numerator, which is the dividend, and 3 on the bottom as the divisor, which is the denominator of the fraction. Here we see we want to break 15 things into parts of 3. We will get 5 groups if we take these 15 sticks and break them up into parts of 3. The last 2 parts of the order of operations are exponents and parentheses. The key word associated with exponents is the power, and the students understand exponents as taking some number, the base, and multiplying it by itself the number of times as the indicated power. In our example, we have 4 raised to the 3rd power, or 4 cubed, and we see that that is 4 times 4 times 4, 4 multiplied by itself 3 times, and the result is 64. The key word associated with parentheses is the quantity. Now, parentheses alone tell students to multiply, but here we say a little more. So here we say it defines a clear starting point in an expression. Okay? You begin with the innermost parentheses and you work your way outwards, but every time you see parentheses, they will tell you to multiply.